what's the deal?
Hi guys, and welcome back to the On Sunday podcast with me, Chris, and my beautiful wife. Honey, why do you have your feet up on the desk, Rebecca?
I mean, my feet aren't up on the desk. My feet are on the chair. I'm just trying to be comfortable.
Try to get comfy.
Mm-hmm.
We're smashing out recording these podcasts, and this week on this show, we are talking about... You just can't please everyone, so don't even try.
Can't. Yeah.
Don't even try.
Don't even bother trying. Just don't even bother.
But before we get into that, I'm trying to please everyone by... You see this beautiful thing I've got here, my Roadcaster? Well, we're leaving, right? We're cancelling the pod. The pod's off. No, we're not. Rebecca and I are moving the pod studio in a second, but I got the girls, I got them their own little mini ones so they can go it. I got a brand new second hand on eBay, super cheap. Super cheap.
Chris loves things that are second hand.
And
he loves them.
We can't talk about what we've been up to this week because it's the same thing we've been up to for the last 5 or 6 weeks because we're just re-recording all these podcasts. So one thing I'd like to put into the world is we're going to have this new podcast studio, honey.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want it to look like? Because I've been trying to get inspiration for lots of things in the house. And I feel like if we can just set up certain things, I think if we get the kitchen right and we get the TV room right, and then we get the podcast studio right, the rest of it can just wait.
Okay, I would say that pretty much everything you've said apart from the kitchen is relevant.
Is relevant or is
irrelevant?
You don't think the living room? Like where we sit and watch TV?
I mean, yeah, but...
How many times you watched TV this week?
Exactly. Exactly.
1 hour of TV this week.
I don't know what I want it to look like. I don't know.
So you've thought of tons of different stuff to do with this house, what the dining room is going to look like.
Do I want to be putting these type of panels on the wall?
Absolutely not.
No.
Well off it. I can't believe that how...
I love them still, but I don't want it in my house.
So what do you want for the podcast?
Do we need to have soundproofing things on the walls? No.
Less so because we'll have carpet probably.
Will we? Yeah, I mean there is carpet right now, so
I'd probably just keep the carpet.
Yeah.
We'll probably have some soundproofing panels close by so that it sounds good. A curtain. That's a soundproofing panel. You know?
I don't know.
We'll have lights. We're going to use phones, or are we going to use actual cameras?
I mean, cameras are expensive.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, this podcast doesn't make money, so, I mean, is it necessary?
I mean, I can get them brand new second hand.
No, no more. And also I think it's way more complicated for editing, isn't it? It's just easier on the phone.
6 and 2 3s. But I was what kind of backdrop do we want? Because I feel like we need something.
We do.
What about a furry wall? Do you remember The Hangover when the guy was out his face and he kept stroking the furry wall?
Also, I just looked at that little globe.
Oh, I know exactly where this is going.
And how cute that would have looked.
In the whiskey room?
Yeah.
Well, it has to stay here. In fact...
Okay, let's spin it and then just randomly put your finger on somewhere and
that's where we're going to take the inspiration from for our new... No, that's where we're going.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, go. Spin.
I need 2 hands for this.
I think it's going to end up being somewhere in Asia.
We're going to Pakistan, guys.
Are we?
This Pakistan-Afghanistan
I didn't realise
border.
Pakistan was that high up the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was Pakistan-Afghanistan border. I was going to say we're probably going to go to, I think that's Kandria. I think that's how you say it. Okay, so that's our next holiday. I was actually looking at flights from Australia and stuff today. I'll tell you why on another pod. But yeah, do you know from Australia to Fiji? Well, from Perth to Fiji, 8 hours.
It's quite a long time.
Splitting into 4. Do you know from Perth to Sydney, which is a stopover?
4 hours?
4 hours.
Uh-huh.
So from Sydney to Fiji, 4 hours. It's not a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. I was looking at points and stuff this morning.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm thinking a dark blue, a really dark blue.
I wanted everything to be quite neutral downstairs.
I'm thinking a nice magnolia.
Not magnolia.
In fact, you know what colour is this colour?
What colour is this colour?
It's our colour, honey.
Is it our colour?
Is it? I'm sure it would be.
It is. Maybe it is.
I'm thinking
it is a good colour. It is. This is very this is great for people who are listening on audio, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I forgot about them. Oh yeah. So we're moving the podcast studio. All I'm just going to say is, if you guys want to rent this podcast studio, it's for a small nominal fee of £400 per day.
Wow, that's excellent. It's a really good vibe.
Or you could just give us like 50 quid.
Oh, wow.
And you can come record the podcast. And then I don't have time to edit it, but I'll...
I mean, are you going to put a banister on the stairs before that happens? Or
So the accountant is coming this week for a visit. I don't know why, it's weird, but he just said he wants to come and see our setup.
maybe he just wants to trust that we say that we have everything that we do.
That is very true.
Not just writing things off willy-nilly.
You've got 3 warehouses? That doesn't make sense. I just want to come and see them. But what I'm thinking is, the guy can talk a good game, right? He's a good salesman. Kind of similar to myself, right? I think he'd be excellent at hosting a podcast. And if you think about the people that he has on his books, they are people similar to us. How good would it be for him to have a podcast like ours, where he comes and just interviews like people that he has on his books? Because he knows their business inside out. Well, he doesn't. He just knows on the high level surface. He knows the numbers. He knows if they're doing well. I think it'd be a good money spinner for us as well.
I think look at this room. It's stunning. Why would
I mean, there's so much going on in the background that you guys can't see, and it's all for a new project that could be coming next year that we could be talking about. And if I would love to spin a camera around, and you guys would be like, "Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Why does Chris have a jungle gym here?" That's a story for another day. Anyway, I was trying to, because we can't really talk about what we've been doing this week because it's the same thing we've been doing every week. I just thought it'd be good to just throw something out there into the ether. And
that is if we ever get a moving date for this house. I wonder if by the time this episode comes out, if we will have that date.
Episode 54. No, I don't think we will. Oh, we'll have the date.
We better have the goddamn date.
We just won't be there. We'll actually be on holiday.
Everybody is just really dragging their feet.
Yeah, we'll be on holiday when this podcast comes out.
No, we won't.
Maybe.
Because the 52nd one goes out, so the 1 year anniversary one goes out on the event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is just so serendipitous. I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe that we're going to be recording our first live podcast at our event on a year anniversary of starting it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and the first one was terrible.
Was it?
Well, we didn't have these mics, Rodecaster, and all the stuff that I've just introduced there. We had our old Yeti mics that you used to do a podcast with, and we had them all like connected up. Oh, it was terrible. It sounded like we were trying to record a podcast.
Was that just the first week though? And then we changed it immediately?
Yeah. Using, tin cans and a string. Yeah, that's almost what it sounded like. And the fact that you guys actually listened to it and quite liked it and said that we would like to hear more.
We do need to get some more listeners, I think.
How can we do that, honey?
I'm not really sure.
Oh, I thought you had an idea the way you said that.
No, I don't. But what people can do to help us is they can share this on their stories and tag us, and then they can be in for a chance of winning a £50 voucher.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's probably about time that you announce the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I might actually need to...
The last one?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I should think about doing these
please
things.
do it, guys. Please help us out. We do this for free every week.
Yeah, we don't charge you. We should charge you, but we don't charge you. But we should charge you. Talk about money-making schemes. Anyway, on this week's show, we are talking about the fact that you can't please everyone. So if you're here and you're thinking to yourself, this is a crap podcast, well, I'm sorry, we can't please you. It's just one of the things.
You can't.
I have resided to the fact that as much as I know that I can't please everyone, I try my bloody hardest.
We always try our very, very, very hardest. And it still hurts when you can't please everyone. It does. But it just can't be done. And you know what? Sometimes those people you can't please, you just have to resign yourself to the fact that you don't actually want them as customers.
You've just basically just got to the end of the podcast.
Sorry.
Right.
You want to go back?
Let's take it all back. I'm going to take all that out in editing. Right. Okay. So before we get into our tears at nail order because we can't please you, I would like to talk about, as a nail tech, the fact that you can't please every single client and there's no point trying. And so what are some of the scenarios that might be the fact that you just can't please people?
Let's say your prices for a start.
Price is a great one to start with, because I think a lot of people, when they are judging also, the nail tech that they want to visit, I think price, big barrier to entry for a lot of people.
I think it's for any service, any item you're purchasing, anything, we all take price into consideration. And you will get those weird people that will contact you and be like, I think your prices are a little bit high and I've seen someone down the road and they're doing it a bit cheaper. Can you do that? Well, why are you not going to the person who's down the road who is cheaper? That's because maybe they don't like their work as much. Maybe they prefer yours. See, those people that want to haggle with you, they do not appreciate your worth at all. So definitely just forget about them as clients.
I'm going to combat that ever so slightly.
Right, okay.
Right. I think they probably do appreciate you. What they don't appreciate is your profit. Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to spin something.
How do they know what your profit is?
I know, because everybody knows profit. Like, as business people, we know how much profit is, right?
The reality is that the person who's charging a lot less is probably way undercharging.
Yeah.
And they probably use the nail order pricing calculator on the nail order app completely incorrectly.
And that's it. And you, as a qualified, experienced nail tech who has been sitting on that app working out your prices, understand that. But the thing is, when you put it into the pricing calculator, is you want to know how much profit you can make. Right. So when we moved to this new house, I've promised myself a new home entertainment system, like sound system and stuff like that, because the sound bar we've got super cheap and it's crappy. And if we're if we're watching a movie or listening to a podcast like Nail on Sunday that can be up on the YouTube, not on the big screen, it doesn't sound the best.
I think it's fine. Chris is one of these weird people that can
I can't
hear. He could hear the difference in things.
Yeah.
I can't.
So I've been looking at these speakers, which are very aesthetically pleasing. So they're black, but they have like copper, rose gold for the cones. They look beautiful.
Oh God, this is coming from the man that you should see the things that he's sending me on Facebook Marketplace.
I was going to show you my phone, but my phone's been used.
You can flash them up, guys. It's really upsetting.
But they're quite expensive.
But just because they're aesthetic, are they actually good?
But they apparently they sound ultimately amazing, right? But here's the thing. I know that they don't cost that much to make. So I don't want to spend that money on them.
Yeah, but that is not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all, right? Because what nail techs need to do is they need to be more honest about transparent about their pricing and literally like show people the process. I mean, maybe that's the thing, right?
Do you know who did this recently? You were like talking to me about it. Jamie from Lashbase.
Oh yes.
We talk about Lashbase a lot because it's easy for us to talk about Lashbase because they're not direct competitors. Well, they're not competitors at all.
They're in the same industry though.
Yeah, but they're in the same beauty industry. Like if we started talking about Hona or Gel Bottle or somebody, they're in the same industry. So first of all, we don't want to piss them off. But the second time, they're direct competitors. But when we talk about Lashbase, they're in the same beauty industry, but we can talk about them openly and freely. Jamie from Lashbase, good guy. Mm-hmm. And you were talking about a TikTok that you put up the other day.
Yeah.
Discussing, what was it? The numbers?
It was the actual cost of running Lashbase. So he broke down everything. It was like so transparent. I'm just like, God, I don't know if I've got quite the balls to do that. So it was like the rental, like how much their warehouse cost, how much their staff cost, like absolutely everything.
Yeah. And I think that's good because they probably just submitted their accounts and he's probably got it all in front of him thinking to himself. Now, here's one of the things I was listening to a podcast, right? And they were talking about, I'm trying to think about it as I'm saying it.
One eternity later.
They were talking about Shark Ninja. Now, everybody's all of a sudden pricked their ears up because everybody's got an air fryer or one of those crappy vacuum cleaners.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Chris has something against Shark Ninja.
I don't, for the air fryers, the vacuum cleaners. Yeah, for the Shark part, yes.
What about the creamy?
Ninja, don't like them. The creamy is stupid. Right, so they were talking about their advertising costs, and this is just one of the things that Jamie was talking about, advertising costs. Every single business is going to be different, but also the way they use advertising. Right.
Totally.
I'll be transparent with you guys. We used to spend like £1,500 a month on Facebook ads. And they used to be really good when we first started, but now they're terrible. So there's no point spending it because that £1,500 per month doesn't return you anything compared to what it used to. Do you know how much Shark Ninja spend on their advertising every single year? I'll tell you. $700 million. And everyone's like, well...
Nearly $1 billion.
Do you know how much they spend on things like Facebook ads? Probably a tiny little fraction. Do you know how they spend their advertising budget? Oh. And this will...
Is it influencer marketing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You can think to yourself, I've seen Mrs. Hinch using these things.
Yeah.
And basically what they do is it's everything from micro influencers up to massive influencers. That's where they spend their advertising budget.
It's because, think about it, right? We have got so off topic again, right? But think about it for a second. You are watching a TV advert. Yes. You know that actor has been paid to say, I love this item, it is fantastic. That entire thing is staged, right?
But how often do you skip ads?
Oh, always.
Always.
But that influencer that you come across, you trust them. Why? I don't know, because they're still just being paid to do the exact same thing, but you feel that there's more truth in it.
The thing is, if you see it from like a Jamie Genevieve or someone like that, you believe wholeheartedly like they use that every single day. They've used that once and it's on a Depop. Do you know
Let
what
me
I mean?
tell you right now, if it's a Ninja Creamy, they've used it once because it's probably broken. Like, I love my Ninja Creamy, but it's broken so many times it is now just sat collecting dust.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Because I
family heirloom.
can't buy the part that I need to be able to fix it.
And they won't give it to free.
No, it's just a whole thing.
The thing is,
I've already had 2 free Ninja Creamies.
yeah, but the thing is, they do it in a different way. Now, it was somebody else's marketing budget that were comparing it to. I think it was actually Coca-Cola or someone like that. Someone huge. And like Coke will spend 25 million on an ad on the Super Bowl. You know? Shark Ninja don't do
They
it.
do everything completely out of the box, though. The same way they go through other people's reviews. You were telling me that.
So they currently have 35 products. That's all they have. Shark Ninja have
Really?
35 products.
And they're always out of stock.
Now, granted, a lot of them might have variants, you know, but it's 35 products.
Wow.
And at the core of them, basically what they do is they go through, like for instance, Dyson, the genius of vacuum cleaners. It was actually G. Edgar Hoover is the genius of vacuum cleaners. If you know, you know. And basically what they do is they just troll the reviews. Every time there's a bad review on Dyson, they write it down. What was the problem? What was the bad thing? One of the biggest things was my hair always gets stuck in the blades or the fan thing at the bottom of the vacuum cleaner. That's why Shark Ninja come up with the hair wrap thing, the hair wrap technology. And yeah, it was an improvement. Now, the vacuum cleaner itself is still terrible. But that was solving a problem, you know? Now, Dyson have done it, and obviously now it's the best vacuum cleaner in the whole entire world. But basically, that's the way they go about their R&D. They find problems and create solutions. Now, very similar to Rebecca and I here at Nail Order, we find problems. We don't get through people's reviews. We just look at the product and
No,
like,
because unfortunately in our industry, the reviews are filtered.
yeah. Oh, I'm going to talk to you about podcasts in a minute. I need to write it down. Actually, somebody actually said, was it ours or was it Laura's? Oh, it was Laura and Saphira's podcast. They were talking about that whole brand faux pas thing. They were talking about, again, we are really sidetracking today.
We're so off top. We're not even on the same map.
No. One of the biggest brand faux pas that they picked up on was the amount of filtered like content that goes on just now for brand faux pas. That's a big brand faux pas.
I saw somebody, funnily enough, it was on our forum, and they were rebranding to Nail Order. They'd said what brand they were moving from, and they were looking for advice from similar people who'd moved from that brand to our brand. And then it was nothing for us to take part in, but just like watching the community and stuff, seeing what people were saying. And that's what people were complaining about. Because somebody said, oh, why don't you reach out to them, blah, 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 blah. And then they said, because anytime I try to reach out in the community, they just delete my thing because it's negative and they don't let any negative things through. And then people were discussing that.
That's the thing. At Nail Order, for all of our flipping good things and bad things, we let even negative reviews and comments through because at the end of the day, we'd rather just solve the problem. It's easier. It's better for us, but also easier for us to solve the problem.
I'll tell you negative reviews that we don't allow through. I'm still waiting for my item.
Great. Have you
Okay, because you've not used the item, I'm not putting that review through. No way. Like stupid things like that.
Ah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But realistically, like, if you have an issue, I would rather solve the issues because it's going to be better for us going forward.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know? But also, we do notice that other brands might have issues and we are clocking it and we're like, okay, let's never do that. You know? Mm-hmm. And that's one of the best ways to operate your business. We started Nail Order out of frustration.
Yes.
We've probably heard it in our pod and we're so sidetracked I can't go into that, even though we could go down a whole rabbit hole.
I'm like, how do we get back to where we started?
Shark Ninja.
We can't please everyone. Prices. I don't know. Okay, but let's just,
budget.
do you know what? Let's just like stop there and just go back, right? Prices. What I was saying was about I know, right? You went on to Jamie.
ADHD. That is what it is. And if you have never understood it, basically that's the way our brains work. We control ourselves so well in this podcast, but I'll tell you a couple of things.
Squirrel.
We had a muffin today. And that little bit of sugar gets you going. I am on several of these and it gets me going. And
I really wish you wouldn't. It really pisses me off so much.
I know. Right, we're going for Botox soon, so we need to get going with that.
We really do. What time is it? Oh, crap. Right. Anyway, carry on. Right. So let's go back. What I was saying is, in terms of can't please everyone, you went on to Jamie, was saying about prices and being transparent with prices. Maybe actually taking somebody through taking your followers, your customers through the process on your social media of how you've come to your prices, right? And that sounds like a really daunting thing to do. And again, I don't know if I've got the balls to it. Obviously, Jamie did it recently, not directly to prices, but just showing the costs. But let me explain to you, right? A lot of your customers, let's say that you've put into your pricing calculator that you want to earn 30 grand a year. Let's now imagine that a lot of your customers are earning 30 grand a year.
Yeah.
What's the difference? You're not saying I want to earn 100 grand a year and I'm charging £1,000 for set nails. You're saying, no, I want to earn 30 grand a year and I'm going to show you like how that's now transpired into my prices.
Yeah. So maybe you should look at that and be like, so I charge £30 for a set of builder. It takes me 45 minutes, right? Here's all the costs. This is how much my rent for my studio is. This is my insurance price. This is everything else. And if I break it down, again, using the nail order app and the pricing calculator, all of a sudden that £30 is broken down to, it's £17. That's what it costs you. And you're making £13. And when you show someone that the profit you're making is £13 and they're making £16, £17 per hour, £13 for 45 minutes, it works out.
Yeah. The stupidest thing that I see people saying like on TikTok is, well, a bottle of gel costs, I don't know, let's just say £18, just randomly. A bottle of gel costs £18 and you can use that heaps of times. You're not using that for one client.
Yeah,
but what about my time? What about my rent? What about my disposables? What about my insurance, my training? It goes on and on and on and on. But again, if you've got a customer who is argumentative about your prices, you can't please everyone. Move on. You don't need that. You don't need that stress. You don't need to justify yourself. If you are happy and content with your prices, you know that what you're charging is fair, but is also what you need to make your target. Move on.
Yeah. Let them go to the person down the bottom of the street and let it be their problem.
Let them.
You know. What is some other things that you think to yourself, oh God, let them, or such like?
Well, you can't please everyone.
Yeah.
When it comes to being a nail tech, literally the quality of your work. So you might have a customer who comes to you for the first time. They've looked at your pictures and you do their nails. You do what they ask for to the best of your ability and they aren't happy.
What sort of things might they not be happy about?
Maybe...
Now, bear in mind that they've probably looked at your Instagram or something like that.
It could be the actual nail art itself. It could be the finish, the shape, the thickness. Could be a lot of different things. It might not be what they're used to. As an example, perhaps they're used to going to somebody who adopts more of an Eastern European style technique, which is very, very different to what we do here in the UK for the most part. So, you know, you've got much more structure, much deeper sidewalls, which there is an absolute argument for. But maybe it's just a case of it's very different from what they're used to.
I think one of the services that can affect people is full cover tips.
It's a psyche thing for
sure. So say for instance, this person is used to getting acrylics, right? And they look at your Instagram as your portfolio and they are blown away by the finesse of
these stunning long nail. Maybe they don't realise what it is. Yeah.
These extensions, let's call them, for want of a better word. And they come in and you start applying full cover tips and they're like, holy smokes, you're just putting press-ons on me, you know? And that can really affect people's psyche. Now, if you have done a set of full cover tips and you go to paint them, you know as a nail artist, you're
never getting a finish like it. Like as somebody who does every single base of product, there is nothing like painting onto a full cover tip. No smoothness, nothing else can be as smooth.
The thing is with full cover tips, the structure of them is just dreamy. Now, I know we've just released acrylic and this is going against it. But when you apply full cover tips, some people just see it as stick-on nails. I hate to say
they
it.
absolutely are not. And then what you need to do is you need to educate your client. You need to say, no, they absolutely are not. Explain the benefits of them. Explain the skill that's involved in the prep of the natural nail and the prep of the tip to ensure the long retention.
The thing is, if you're excellent at applying full cover tips, or even if you're just good, you can get it on in one go, and there's no refining afterwards. Yeah. You know, all you're doing is just taking the shine off the
I would also just be vulnerable to the client like that in terms of, just trust me, just try them. Please just try them. Just try them this once. Please just try it.
When we first introduced full cover tips into our salon, the amount of time that Rebecca spent trying to convince people.
We had a lot of pushback, for sure.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting thing, right? We offered originally, obviously, model spaces. So we were doing acrylics all day, every day. That was the main thing that we did. We offered model spaces for this. People, you've always got that bunch of clients that is willing for you to try anything on them, moreover, because they're getting it at a good price, right?
Always.
So say it was like £10. Now, this was obviously over a decade ago. £10 to try these tips. Can't remember how much it was, but 10, 15, something like that.
It works in two ways. Number one, it gives us a little bit of experience. It gives girls maybe a little bit speedier at doing it. But also, it just gives us the availability to do pictures and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Portfolio. So what you'd get is you'd get those clients willing to try anything. They would try them once and they would absolutely love them. They wouldn't go back.
100%.
I could, literally in my head,
I
I've
can
got the
name customers.
names.
Yes.
Same. Joanne.
Nicola, Nicola, the twin.
Susie.
Yeah.
Like literally off the top of my head, I'm like thinking of these people and they loved them and they wouldn't go back and that was it. So as soon as they tried them, they loved them. But then you've got those clients. We had one client, in fact, Millen's auntie, Nina. She was our last remaining acrylic client. We had to keep acrylic on site just for her, for nobody else. And that was like 4 years after. And eventually we got her
You
over.
wore her down.
We got her over eventually.
The thing is, she's kind of like almost family, So you think she would just take Rebecca's. But moreover, to the point we're trying to get at, without being too sidetracked there, is I've actually had Rebecca say, if you don't like them, we'll just refund it. And Rebecca never gives refunds for nothing.
No, I don't believe in it.
Or I think it was a case of, we'll take them off and do your next set for free type thing, And that's the thing. It's just about changing people's psyche around a bit. And I think that's where you could potentially not please some people. If you said, like we were saying about the acrylic, imagine you took it off-site, that person, what are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly. You've taken the option away from them. Again, you can't please everyone. It might just not be what that person's used to, especially when it's a first-time customer, a first-time client. It might just be something completely different to what they're used to. Try not to take it offensively and try and fix the situation, but ultimately realize you cannot please everyone. And if they're causing you that much stress, they're probably causing you anxiety. You don't need them going forward.
I've got two, and it's a two-parter, and I've just thought them as we're going through this process, and hopefully I remember them and don't get sidetracked. The type of products, the type of equipment you use on people, e-file. Oh, God, I've lost the second one.
Oh, God, that didn't take long, did it?
Right, okay, so let's roll with that, and hopefully it'll come back to me. It won't, but it might. Some people might not like the type of treatment or the type of equipment. Oh, I've got it.
Jesus.
Full manicures. Let me come back to that
What
one.
manicures?
Full manicures.
Okay.
Right. Keep that in your head.
I'll try.
You guys remember, and if I forget, put it in the comments. So, for instance, imagine you come to nail tech for the first time, you sit down, and all of a sudden they are starting to use an e-file, and you've never had an e-file before. You might be like, holy smokes. How do you deal with that?
It's about education. It's about, again, be vulnerable, ask them to just trust you, and educate them. Start slowly is what I would say. I think it's really, really important that as a nail technician or any service provider, that you don't change yourself, your offering, and what you're happy and content doing for one person. Because that's when you become unstuck and things aren't going to go well. So as an example, if you're a nail technician who does e-file prep, you've got a customer and they're new to you, they are anxious about e-files, hopefully your training will equip you properly. Like doing the LP training, they equip you well by showing you techniques that you can do to sort of introduce it slowly to your clients. So hopefully you will be equipped with that. But if you let the customer pressure you into just doing a manual method of prep, knowing that you're not that good at it, as an example, they're going to get a secondary level of service. So what's the point?
I think, like you said, it's about explaining the situation, but being confident within your own ability. Also, timings. Like, for instance, with e-file prep, I believe that you're probably going to be quicker, but more, like you said, more accurate, more thorough with prep. If you say to someone, if I do manual prep, it's going to take me 30 minutes, whereas with the e-file, it's going to take me 15. I don't know if that's your timings, guys, but I'm just for talking's sake. That's going to affect the next client, and the next client for the rest of the day, and the next client and everything else. So again, it's maybe just about educating people and just being like, I can do this in 15 minutes and it's going to be even more thorough than if I try do it manually. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's a good way to put it. Try do it manually.
I mean, I will say to you guys, I have cut people with
a nail file,
a normal nail file, like recently, way more times than I have injured somebody with an e-file.
Yeah, man, look at me. I was kidding on, I'd sliced one of my fingers off though. If we're audio listeners.
Right, go on then. Full manicure.
Right. So, I'm going back to when we first opened the salon, and we used to do acrylics for £12.50 as a special offer. Acrylics. Full set
God,
of
I
acrylics.
didn't get you those pictures of acrylics.
I know you need to do that. Full set of acrylics for £12.50, half price, special offer. It used to be £25.
That would be like midweek on a Tuesday or a Wednesday type
Yep,
thing.
if you want gel colour on top of it, or colour on top of it was an extra couple of pounds and everything else, right? We old ladies would come in off the street because they would see the poster, handwritten poster that Chris had made, and they would sit down and the girls would start doing acrylics. What they actually wanted was a full luxury manicure. And this is a thing, right? Some people don't understand what you are offering. And I think that's really difficult because you can be really explicit. You're doing a full set of acrylics. You're not doing a full manicure, but they just don't know the lingo, the full terminology, you know? Or they're used to getting a manicure, but no extensions.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, that's on them. I think as well there's a wider point here, which is that in terms of you can't please everyone, a way that you can really avoid displeasing many people, or as many as you can, is by having very clear and visible policies, explanations of what things are, prices, etc., etc.
Yeah.
If you are as transparent as possible, all the information is available. It's, as an example, on your price list, it says what's included. It tells them that nail art is going to be extra. It tells them that you don't allow children, or if you're late that you can't take them and they'll lose their deposit. If you explain this and this is written down and it is advertised everywhere, then you are going to avoid displeasing people way more.
I always try to adopt the McDonald's advertising. So, for instance, if you go to McDonald's, you get a medium fries, say, for instance, a medium Big Mac meal. They explicitly say underneath it, medium fries, medium Coke, or medium whatever, you know, and they tell you the price, $3.99. Everyone's like, $3.99? It used to be, last time I went to McDonald's. But you can upgrade for an extra £1 and you get large fries, large Coke. So people they're set up to understand what you're getting, you know? If you want those big fries, then you're going to have to pay the extra for it. And I think that's what's setting it up to do. But it is much harder, especially if people are walking in off the street. It's few and far between.
There is just some people out there that will never be pleased, no matter what it is they're getting done or doing and who's doing it. You've also got those scenarios where you have got customers who are late, right? We kind of just touched on that a second ago, where they are late and your policy is that you can't take them. Their policy is very obvious and they still cause a ruckus with you. And they kick off, well, why can't you just take me? Why can't you just fit me in? Blah, 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 blah. That's them. That's on them. Yeah. That is on them. They're not pleased, but they're not pleased because of their own behaviour.
That's usually what it is. They have caused themselves to be late. Or another factor has caused them to be late, but it's them who are late. It's not you that's taking them late, you know?
Yeah. People are so bloody unreasonable. It is absolutely shocking.
Oh, God, I had another one.
Wow.
I lost it.
Oh,
yeah. Special offers. We have spoke about this on this pod many times. Run special offers to try and attract new clientele. I'll be honest with you though.
It can attract the wrong clientele?
Yes, it can. We did Groupon. Do you know what, guys, remember Groupon? It's like a little thing, right? So we did it when we first set up our business.
Is it still a thing? Bet you it is.
Probably. The Groupon customers are the worst customers in the whole entire world, and I'll say that to all of their faces.
Now, most of us have used Groupon once or twice in our lives. But that's not who we're talking about. We're talking about the customers that walk in with a pile of vouchers and then flicking through all the vouchers looking for the one that they are using today.
Yeah. And I'm all for people getting special offers.
They want the world, these people, though. They want the world for nothing.
That's the thing. They don't just want a set of acrylics for £12.50. They want a consultation while they're having a coffee that you've made for them to then work out the size. But really, realistically, they're getting a special offer. You're trying to get through it as quickly as possible. They have them applied and all of a sudden they don't like the length, so they want them down a little bit short.
The worst.
Yeah. And you apply some of the colour and they're like, actually, I don't really like that colour now that it's on. And they're just, fundamentally, they're terrible people and you're never going to please them. I would rather you did not run that special offer and you sat there at a window just looking out into the wilderness.
Let me tell you right now, you will rather you didn't run that special offer and that you were sat there doing nothing for an hour.
Yeah, honestly. I am all for get that money, kid, and get those people in. But sometimes you just can't please everyone.
Do you think it is harder and harder to please people?
I think people are very, very good at hiding behind a screen, a keyboard, and they can be all, you're this and you're that and everything else. Face to face, nah.
Well, I mean, you still get them.
You still get them. And you know what? People expect more and more now.
They do. They do expect more and more.
For less and less.
Or less and less. I think the entitlement of people is absolutely shocking these days. But yeah, like you say, they literally want the shirt off your back. Like all of our customers out there who are listening, who are proper loyal nail order customers, they know that our customer service is excellent. We'll bend over backwards. We will go over and above and try our very, very best. But there is a point where people are just being unreasonable.
Yeah, and it's the unreasonable part. I think with social media now and the way things are so instant, you know, if you want a coffee, you don't even have to leave the house. You just DoorDash it or Uber Eats it or something like that. We're talking about my son got a new MacBook, and Rebecca said, well, he's a mechanic, so what does he need a MacBook for? And I said, well,
I didn't say that.
I'm explaining. He's a mechanic. What does he need a MacBook for? And I said, well, he's more getting into things like investing and stuff like that, and he wants to start side hustles. And Rebecca said the exact same thing that I was thinking. Yep, but he's too lazy to do it because he's just a kid. Now, realistically, he's not a lazy kid, but he like many people, he wants it instantly.
He wants it. He's got the ideas, but he doesn't have the gumption to put them into action, and he just wants it handed to him.
But at the same time, he'll meal prep for the whole entire week, and he will go to the gym every single day because he wants to look good and he wants that thing. So he does have it within him.
Only that's the unique thing about your appearance.
A lot of people
is that only you have
but a lot of people
control
now
over that.
just don't want.
I don't know. These days, a gym's big business. I mean, look at Gymshark and things like that.
I totally get it. But some people just want the instant gains. People look at people like Will Tennyson on YouTube, Jesse James. Like we watch these guys. I want to look like him. I know it's going to take me 2 or 3 years to get like that. But some people look like that and think, a couple of months of going to the gym, I'll get that. And when they don't get the results, they give up, you know? And they can't please themselves, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
And that is one of the things that we've got with society. Why are we like this these days? Kids these days.
I know. But people can be absolutely awful, and it is okay to sack a client. Did we do an episode on how to sack a client?
We touched on it. I don't know if we actually did. Do you know what? We've only got 15 minutes left of this episode. We're not even going to talk about nail order. Let's talk about sacking clients. It's going to be a 2 for 1.
Oh,
screw it. Let's just go on to it.
How to sack a client?
Yeah.
And
why,
is there ever a reason that you should sack a client?
All the questions.
Yes, there is. And that is what for both nail order and for you as a nail tech. Sometimes it is okay to go, I don't think that we are the brand for you. I don't think I'm the nail tech for you. I would rather not have your business. Thank you very much.
The amount of times I've done that and Rebecca's been like, you can't do that.
I went to do it last week. Last week, was it?
You just know there is some people you cannot. But also, I'll be honest with you, it also comes down to you as a person, because if you're in a full mood that day, if somebody rubs you up the wrong way, delete their account.
The thing is, right, that is the unique thing about being in charge of your own business, is it's your business. You march to the beat of your own drum and you set the rules. Now, those rules don't need to be logical. As a nail technician, you can do whatever. Okay, as a brand, we are bound by a few more restrictions, I would say.
Number 1, Laura Parisi. She keeps us right.
She does. We are slightly more bound. But as a nail technician, you set your rules. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole. Why go into business otherwise? Why go into business? Why not just have an easy life and work for somebody else? You want to set your rules. You want to have your own policies, and you want to make your life as easy as possible in terms of your working life.
Can you tell me about a time that you've sacked a client, or within the salon you've said to someone that we're not the right people for you? Let's go back to Nina, for example, with acrylic. Mm-hmm. At any point in time, should you have turned around and said, you know what, we're going to stop doing acrylic?
I mean, maybe. Maybe.
Do you think because we have a slightly more...
No, it wasn't anything to do with the fact that she was like Millen's auntie. She's not Millen's blood auntie, just for context, auntie by marriage. But she was just a very, very good customer, a really, really nice girl. You know, we didn't want to lose her. And we were the ones that implemented the change. It wasn't that she came to us and we weren't offering acrylic and then she tried to persuade us to change. It wasn't that, you know, it was that we were changing something. So I do sometimes think that the smaller your business or the more independent your business, if you're an individual nail tech, etc., versus like a salon, you can be a little bit more picky. Do you know what I mean?
I do. One thing I want to say is it does make a difference on the person that you potentially want to sack or change. If you're a nice person, it's probably never going to happen.
Correct.
If you're a terrible person, we're probably going to sack you, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the way you should adopt things in
A
life.
lot of times, the people that you would have had to sack, the trash takes itself out.
Oh, that's a good one.
Poor
Holy
exemplar.
smokes.
Poor exemplar. We've talked about this person before. Turns up to an appointment at the salon ridiculously late. Jennifer had already spoken to them on the phone and said, look, we're not going to be able to take you if it's past this time, blah, blah, blah. Walks in, saunters up the stairs for the takeaway coffee. I'm here for my appointment. Jennifer explains, I'm really sorry. As I said to you on the phone, we won't be able to take you for your appointment. Blah, 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 blah. Then like goes absolutely off on one, blames us because we don't have a car park, etc., etc., etc. Left in a huff. First time customer. Ain't ever coming back. Trash has taken itself out.
And that's a good way to look at it.
If you get a customer like that and you back down to them then, the worst, we keep talking about this in different episodes, the worst thing that you can do is back down on one of your policies and give in to somebody one time, because what that is ultimately probably going to end in is you having to sack that client or a really uncomfortable conversation later down the line. If you set the tone going forward, like straight away, then people, they understand the policies and the rules that they have to abide by. If they don't like them, they walk out the door right there and then. You never have to see them again and you don't have to sack them because they're an absolute arsehole to you every single time you come. Maybe in another world, another nail technician would have taken that client who was 20 minutes late or 30 minutes late and put her whole rest of the day out and then sat there feeling really, really uncomfortable. The person was an asshole. They booked back in 3 weeks' time. They were late again. They booked back in another 3 weeks' time, and you keep taking them over and over again, and you get to the point where you're so frustrated that you then have to sack them, and it is so much more awkward.
It's like when you take that ex back and he just cheats every single time.
Exactly. You let that person in one time with the child and they keep bringing them. And then your other clients see the kids and then they bring their kids, and it's just a whole snowball effect. So that's something you can do to avoid having to sack clients is stick by your policies from day one.
Yeah.
Because
£25 just ain't worth it.
it ain't worth it. It ain't and for a lot of people, for myself included, that's the type of thing that I'll go home and I'll have anxiety about, and I'll worry about seeing that person, and I'll be thinking about it, and it'll cause me a lot of stress. And all I'll think to myself at the time is, I wish I hadn't taken that money. Yeah. I wish, even when it comes to brows, and you're talking about 150 quid, whatever it is, I'm thinking I wish I'd never taken that money. Yeah. I wish I hadn't taken that client, because now all I have is regret and worries.
I sold one of the vans last week. Now, this chap came to buy a set of wheels off me at the start of the year, and they weren't going to fit his van. So I said right away to him, I was like, look, mate, they're not going to fit your van. You've got a 5-stud pattern. These new ones are 6-stud. It's not going to fit your van. Cancelled it. Never thought I was going to see him again. He turns up at the work last week.
Out of the blue.
And said, you still selling your white van? Because I had it up for sale at the time. I was like, actually, no, because we're using two vans. We're multitasking with certain things. He said, I'll make an offer just now, cash and everything else.
I bear in mind that the van is not up for sale. It's not advertised, and as somebody was actually using it.
And one of the things with older transit vans, not 2018, is a thing called a wet belt. Now, it's a thing within it that you should get changed. I think it used to be, what Ford were saying was like every 200,000 miles, because transit should do tons of. Anyway, turns out the ones that Ford put in were terrible, and they were like breaking after 90,000 miles, and it would destroy your engine, right? Really expensive to get them done. I think it's like £1,200. And when you're selling a van that's only 5-6 grand, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, you know. So when I had it off for sale, I didn't have the wet belt on it, and I was explicit with it, and that's why I was struggling to sell it, you know. Also, again, workies don't want to spend. It was a nicer van, you know. It had alloys and it had a big screen and stuff like that.
It was very well kept.
Yeah, and people don't want to spend the money on it, you know. So this guy came along, offered us some money, and he was fully aware that it needed the wet belt done, that it needed the oil service done. The brakes and tyres were probably going to need done soon, and he gave me an cash off, and I thought to myself, you know what, screw it.
And I'm going, what is happening here? Like, this guy's turned up out of the blue, and I'm just like, why? I don't think you should be doing this.
There's several other reasons that I can't really get into,
but
really I just thought to myself, right there and then, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
And I was like, I wasn't comfortable.
So the guy comes back after an hour away, comes back with cash, did the deed, signed the paperwork, he takes it away. 2 days later, I'm walking out the warehouse. He's just there, just by himself all of a sudden. And he's like, the van you sold me, the wet belt went there. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, I drove it to Edinburgh. Beautiful van. He said, drove amazing. You were right. Wet belt went.
Now, bear in mind, this van has been being used every single day.
Yeah.
So, as in one of the staff's using it. So, no issue that we know of. Now, I still don't believe that this happened. We've not seen any evidence that this happened. There was no. I still don't believe it's happened.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I played it down right away, and I was like, just the luck of the draw, man. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. I said, you knew it was needing a bit belt done. I said, realistically, you should have gone and got it done right there and then. You took the risk. Now, if I'd turned around and been like, I'm really sorry about that and stuff, if I'd backed down, he'd have been there wanting the money back. And I think that realistically, that's what he was wanting. He was wanting the money back.
I think that's what he was going to see if he could, if you were a pushover.
And he was like, I'll let you know how I got on. And I'm thinking to myself, please don't. Please never come back here ever again. But
anyway, that was a situation where surely your flag went up at, when he just pitched up out of the blue and said he wanted to buy it. And and I was like, I'm not happy with this. I just didn't feel comfortable. It was all happening so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if something doesn't feel right in your heart of hearts, do not go through with it. It is so much easier, especially when it's a first-time customer. It's always a first-time customer, right? You're never going to have these type of really uncomfortable moments with a customer who's been coming to you for a long time, or very, very rarely. It's a new customer, cut it off at the legs immediately.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's something that's going to be a monkey in your back for a period of time, right? And it's going to cause you stress. So how do you go about actually sacking a client if you have to? Now, I'm going to give you two options, right? One, you can do it not face-to-face. So you can do it over the phone, text message, etc., etc.
Do what they would do. Instead of they would write a complaint over emails or something like that, you do the same. You just...
So whatever you do, number one, you need to decide that you are sticking to your guns, and no matter what, you will not back down and you will not be bullied by them. No matter what they say, no matter how much they beg you, no matter how much they apologise, because let's be honest, people cannot change.
Yeah.
So you've got two options. You can do it face-to-face and you can do it over the phone, text message, email. I would say it really depends on the scenario, which is going to be most appropriate, but also about how you feel. So if you're going to do it by message, whatever, the best thing to do is you're going to wait to see if they book back in. Well, I don't know. You can do it straight after the appointment.
I think it depends. If it's a long term client, as in they've been coming to you for a couple of months or whatever, and they're just getting worse and worse, I would just try and cut it off as quickly as possible. It is going to be uncomfortable. It's like a breakup. It's always going to be uncomfortable, right?
It is. Yes, it is. And you have to accept that. And you've got to face your fears, because otherwise it's just going to make you feel terrible in the long run.
It's like if you have
a small amount of short-term discomfort is so much better than a long-term discomfort.
We have, think about all the members of staff that we've had that are maybe not performing well, and you have to bring them in for a performance review.
It's nothing worse. You don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it.
Because we're not psychopaths.
Yeah, as a manager, the last thing you want to do is tell someone doing something bad or reprimand them.
Mm-hmm. Nobody likes it, but sometimes it has to be done for the greater good.
Yeah, when you do it and they come out being like, in fact, I'm going to change or something like that, you feel elated.
You do. You really, really do.
So you've got to look at, again, this is something we've said before, is future you going to thank you?
Absolutely. So let's say you are emailing them, you're going to be really kind and you're going to be really, really nice. If there's different scenarios that obviously could lead to this having to happen. There was something that I read recently in the group. Well, in fact, it didn't get posted to the group. We asked them to reword it because it was very... there was a lot of things about like someone's like some hygiene issues and things like that. There was maybe something else going on. If you are sacking somebody as a client for a hygiene issue, no matter what that is, you might be a mobile nail technician and going to their house and it is really unsanitary and you are not comfortable. I would say be kind, because there might be a lot of reasons. Yeah. There might be mental health reasons behind that. There might be other health reasons behind that.
Also, a lot of people just don't know any better.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. We've had some staff members and they just don't know better.
They don't know better. So I would say in scenarios like that, a little white lie to save that person's blushes is absolutely 100%. Okay. So if you were a mobile nail tech, you just say, I'm really sorry, I'm not serving your area anymore. I've really enjoyed meeting you. Thank you so much for your custom, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to see you anymore. And then that's it. That's it. You don't need to elaborate anymore. You don't need to go back and forth with them. They might send you a message, oh no, please. You don't need to go on with them. If they try to book in, you cancel their booking and say, I'm really, really sorry. Again, I'm just going to remind you I'd no longer served your area. Like if it's something else where maybe they're late all the time, you have to say to them, I'm really sorry. I've really enjoyed, and you've brought it up to them several times before. Again, I've really enjoyed our conversations, really enjoyed meeting you, but I really can't have this stress on my business anymore. It's causing me problems with my other clients. I'm really sorry. I'm not the nail tech for you. Move on. And that's the thing. You just have to say, I'm not the nail tech for you. Be kind. Say you've really enjoyed meeting them, unless that, you know, there's been a really, really bad situation, in which case you can absolutely say, I'm really sorry. Our recent interactions have left me feeling really uncomfortable. And I would rather not be your nail tech from now on. And maybe you could find somebody else and leave it at that.
I think if you go into it as being kind and compassionate as possible, even if they've got something to say, you've done all within you.
Kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
Kill them with kindness. If you're being nice to them, they're going to find it harder to be nasty back to you. But sometimes people do need to be told, you know, in terms of, your lateness is affecting me.
Yeah.
I've asked you not to bring your child because it is one of my policies. And last time you brought them, they went into my child's bedroom and they were playing with all of their toys and they broke something.
Which we know has happened.
Yes. Yeah. You know, these type of things. I've asked you not to do it. You've still chosen to do it. Unfortunately, you can't buy my policies, so I cannot serve you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There is nothing wrong with it. And, you know, I was going to say nobody can say anything bad about you. They can spread all the lies. And that's the thing. People do like to...
embellish your truth.
Oh, yes. They very, very much do.
The thing is, nobody wants to be told that they're doing something wrong. Nobody likes it.
No.
Let's be honest. So, for instance, at nail order, if you have a complaint, you're basically telling us we're doing something wrong. We don't want to be told that. So we're going to... Here at nail order, we're going to try and bloody solve it.
However, we're always going to try and solve it.
However, you have some people who cannot accept that, and they do not want to be told that they're doing something wrong, so they'll make it your fault. They'll put it back on you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've got to just take up your big boy pants and be like, you know what? You're right. It's me. No worries. I'm not the right person for you.
Yeah.
You know?
So I've got a couple of examples here, right, which are just showing how unreasonable people can be, and they go together. So something we talked about this recently, actually. Customer has their delivery is delayed and they've not received the items in the order and they've had to cancel clients. That's on you, mate.
Yeah.
That is on you. Yeah, we said, you know, delivery is usually, 2 working days. But nothing's ever guaranteed. And if you don't have the products and you've booked somebody in, I'm sorry, that's on you. The exact same way, if you are a nail tech and your client is 20 minutes late and your policy clearly states that if they're any more than 5 minutes late that you cannot see them. Maybe you've even messaged them to try and find out where they are and they said, I'm on my way, and you've said, I'm sorry, I can't take you. And they still turn up and they say, but I've travelled half an hour to get here.
So
that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. I can't take you. You're being unreasonable. Why should everybody else change everything because of you?
I was editing a podcast this morning and we were talking about this delivery thing previous to
honestly.
it. And do you know what we didn't discuss? And I'd like to touch on that real quick just now. The amount of times that we opened up the salon and one of the girls come out the beauty room and they're like, we don't have any lashes. And you've got clients booked in all day. They could have told you, right?
This was a long time ago until we got our systems in place.
And we had to run to salon services. Imagine, right? So number one, you're pissed because you're having to like run out to go to salon services because you've booked these people in based on the fact that you think you've got these lashes.
And the thing is, our staff are meant to say, okay, we've gone on to the last pack.
Yeah.
This was way back in the beginning when we first started.
And we didn't have backups.
Yeah.
Imagine you got to salon services.
And they had nothing.
They had no lashes.
Well,
Are you going to start shouting at the poor girl, Susan, who's working in...
Probably. Some people would.
It's not their fault they've ran out of lashes because some other salon has had the same scenario and come in and bought them all up.
Some people would.
You know?
And we'll get people, like I seen a negative review for us recently. Can't remember where it was. And it was, they never have any gels in stock. Right, number one, we very, very rarely go out of stock for a gel.
Very rarely.
If we do, it's definitely already on order, and demand has just been way higher than we could have ever imagined. But whose fault is it that they didn't buy enough in the first? We never are out of stock for something long enough that if you had a backup, you would, apart from like one time with something, I can't even think what it was, like way back when, a builder gel. If you didn't have, like, if you had a backup, you would have had enough to get you through.
Yeah. Do you think people leave bad reviews to Hermes because they haven't been able to buy a Birkin bag because they're only available to people who are on the wait list?
I'm pretty sure, yes, probably.
But that's what it's like. It's so stupid.
What about Starbucks taking away my frap chips?
I mean...
I've not left a negative review. Do you know why? It's Starbucks' prerogative to do that with their business. If they go out... The number of times I went through that drive-through and they were out of stock of frap chips or they're out of stock of drizzle or something. But I'm not going to go off on them. It's just is what it is. Sometimes demand is more than you expect. Sometimes your supply is delayed for whatever reason.
Well, here's one. I always imagine the amount of times we've been in Pure Gym and they've run out of paper towels to like wipe down the things.
I mean, that is inexcusable. I've got to
And I always think to myself, there's two things here.
You can buy it from anywhere.
You can buy it from anywhere. You can go to the cash and carry.
They're next door to B&M. They could just go to B&M and get some kitchen roll.
They can do. Or if it's being sent in from head office, why not just ask them to up the supply? Because if you're out of stock of it once, that's forgivable. Twice, that's a bit, you should be thinking to yourself, you really need to get your systems in place. Every fifth week.
That's very, very different because that's something that you can get anywhere. But like for us specifically with our brand products, Starbucks specifically with their specific brand products, you know, so there's just, you can't get it from anywhere else. So.
I know. And that's the thing, you know, you've just got to think of these
People
things.
just need to be reasonable. My God, you know, I'm just like, sometimes people complain about things. In fact, very often people complain about things. And I think to myself, and I say it out loud, I wish I had your problems.
How many times you went into Nando's and they've been like, I'm out of chicken? All the time. You know, I'm out of butterfly chicken, I'm out of chicken breast. But you're a chicken restaurant.
Go to Tesco and buy some chicken.
But they don't have the gumption. They don't have the management power. If we could get it into stock, we would, because it benefits us.
If we worked at Nando's and that happened, like as managers, we would take ourselves along to Tesco or Sainsbury's and grab ourselves some.
The thing is, you just swipe it on your credit card and just build a company. God damn, figure it out. But again, it's about being reasonable. So is there any, because we're again getting off topic and I'm getting hungry, that's why I'm thinking about Nando's. Is there any other ways that you should sack a client? I mean, we were talking about killing with kindness just now.
Sometimes it's not kind. Sometimes people are horrible.
I think you should be brutally honest. And I've done it with a couple of people before at nail order. And it's just a case of explaining, you are being completely unreasonable because of, and always have a reason. Don't just do it with an empty gesture.
Yeah, don't just say you're unreasonable. And you're like, but why you're just unreasonable? Because it just makes you sound a little bit silly.
It does. Always have like a reason behind it. But sometimes the reason I do it, and I've said this so many times to so many people about so many things, the reason I'm doing this right now is so that you potentially never do this to anyone else. You're making me feel terrible for a problem that is not really a problem. And
Chris really has this in his head, right? This thing where he's going to teach someone a lesson so that they don't hurt anybody else, right?
The thing is, I don't care about them hurting me.
No, and Chris always says to me, who cares? No one cares.
I do.
No one cares, right?
I do.
He doesn't live by himself. And I'm like, a perfect example, right? Someone's driving the wrong way down our street, which is a one-way street. He will throw them daggers when we're walking the dog. Like somebody could like veer up onto the curb and just knock us down. He is throwing them daggers. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Because maybe they'll learn. No, they won't. They don't give a flying fudge that some random crazy man walking his dog is giving them evils. They don't care.
I'll be honest with you, I've driven my van straight towards them as they're driving it. So I'm coming down it towards my driveway. I've driven my van towards them to the point where they've actually had to mount the curb.
Oh yeah, I would do that too, for sure.
To prove a point.
Yeah. But no one cares. So unfortunately, perfect example, right? We talked about this before as well. Time that we had to sack a customer, really horrible person, was getting acrylic nails done.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd already gone home because it was like a late night and I'd done the earlier part of the day. And then I had to came back in, half of my pajamas, stood at the front door and told the customer just to get out. Another staff member saw them doing the exact same thing at a Chinese restaurant just like the next week. So the interaction did not in any way stop. There are just some people out there who are so despicable and they don't realise that they are the problem.
You're right. But some people do and they love it. And I'm going to...
some people get off on it, don't they?
Yeah, this is... Right. So I'm going to throw an image up. Just before Rebecca came in, I was downstairs in the podcast. Before I did that, I was doing some stuff on my laptop. I had nothing to do. I was looking through an app I've got on my phone called Time Hop that shows you what happened on this day every year that you've taken a picture. It was ages ago. We were in a Chinese restaurant close to... I think we'd actually just moved into the house we were in. I think it was the first time we went to the Chinese takeaway around the corner. And there was a guy and he was just so horrible. He was just a horrible guy. You could just tell. And he had a t-shirt on that said on the back of it, "People hate me." And I'm going to throw it up on the screen right now. And it's very true. And the reason I took a picture of it is because I remember thinking to myself, people hate you because you're just a terrible person. You're just a horrible person. You're just nasty. I can't remember what the situation was, but he was just mouthing off to the Chinese guys. I think he was probably being quite racist. I think I probably said something to him at the time. And you get some people who just get off on it.
Yep. There's nothing. Yeah. So whatever you do with those type of people, don't give them that. Don't give it to them. Just be like, I'm unbothered. Just be like, I'm not the nail type of you. Nah. Just be unbothered. I know you can, inside your heart will be racing and you'll feel your cheeks starting to flush, whatever. But just try your very, very best. Just be like, nah, you're not for me. Thank you. Bye.
You can't please everyone.
Because that will make them so mad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'll make them so mad.
Or see, when you get people like that, just laugh at them. Just like, so stupid.
Oh, Chris does that, and they get so wound up, and they get so mad.
Or what, you just could be like, "What, are you kidding me? You really?"
Yeah.
Oh really? See, when you say that to someone, oh God, that's such a good one. Oh really? Oh really? People actually realize, oh God, or maybe they don't. Anyway. On that note, you just can't please everyone. You can't please my belly, which is rumbling.
You cannot please everyone, but stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
And don't let anyone bully you.
Also fight the power.
And just accept that you cannot please everyone. And sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. The person's never going to be happy. And that's not a reflection on you or your abilities. It's just a reflection on that person. Wow.
That's my turn.
To hear that.
I'm going to say, honey, what we're doing for the rest of the day, but I'm going to just tell people. There's satay chicken next door.
There is also a second muffin right there.
We're going to munch them and then we're going for Botox.
We're going for Botox.
Because we've got the event next week. And
I'm going to have to say to him about the bruising, like he's going to have to go real gentle.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to have to put loads of arnica on my face.
What are we doing for the rest of the day other than that? Or the rest of the weekend?
No plans.
No plans? Chris is trying to get the house ready for moving out.
Probably try and pack up another couple of boxes.
Here is something I'm doing that's stupid. I'm trying to repair things that they already know is broken.
Well, no, nothing's broken, right?
Okay, things are imperfect.
Imperfect.
I'm trying to make them perfect because I'm trying to be that nice guy because I don't want people to talk about me after I leave. I'm just trying. There's a cupboard door hanging off. I just want to get it fixed. There's a hedge that's needing cut. It's huge. I'm going to cut it down.
There's the holes in the garden that Dakota's created.
I've been fixing and it still gets out. I know. Just so we're trying to make good in life because we want to leave people. This house has served us really well.
It has. We always try our best.
It's set us up for the future. It's been a great place to stay for the last 12 years, apart from the street when people drive up it the wrong way. But that's not the house's fault. That's other people's fault. So we're just trying to make things good.
I just can't wait to move now. Cannot wait. Well, maybe go into Facebook Marketplace, see if we can find any
freebies that we can chuck in the back of a van. Go get yourself a van, guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Go grab yourself a van.
On that note, honey, can you get us a heck out of here?
Yeah, be sure to share this on your stories, guys, and tag us to be in with a chance of winning a £50 voucher this month. And be sure to subscribe and like and comment about what we should talk about next.
Sunday, all the tea getting spilled. Nail text, talking game, keeping it real, y'all gon' feel. From the signs to the drama, every secret they reveal. Stay sharp, stay tuned, man, you know it's the deal.